Hey guys, welcome back. It's Bob at Candace Boxing Channel. Now, we've all been talking about the Saudi involvement in boxing for some time. And I think it's fair to say that the issue tends to be somewhat bookended. You've got some people at one end saying Saudi involvement in sports is nothing more than sports washing. It hides a lot of the human rights issues or attempts to hide them. You've got a more middling group that says, hey, it is what it is, but we wish we had a bit better atmosphere at some of the big fights. And I certainly see that perspective. It annoys the hell out of me when I see people sitting there front row at a fight that, I'd cut off my right leg to go and see, and they're just staring at their iPhones or whatever. Anyways, there's a lot of people who've commented on that, and it always seems to get a lot of pushback by people who say, there is a good atmosphere, or it doesn't matter. Anyways, And then at the other end of the bookend, if you like, or the other bookend, you've got people who say this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. It's a game changer. It's wonderful, and there should be, no further discussion about it, I suppose. My own views really aren't very important, to be honest with you, on that. I can see everyone's point of view on it. I get a little bit disappointed when I think about all the big fights ending up in Saudi. But then again, I'm old enough to remember when, Vegas or New York were the sort of, centers of boxing, and it never seems to be where I live. That's for sure. But anyhow, my view is that, it is what it is now. The Saudis are involved. And while not sort of owning boxing, they are incredibly influential. And so with that in mind, I thought I would ask Turki Al-Sheikh, who is the head of the general entertainment group there, certainly in charge, at least on his face, with all the boxing. And I thought I would ask Turki if he could grant me 3 wishes. So my first wish would be, Turki, please, can you bring some rationalization, I suppose, to the top 20 fighters in each weight division? Because right now, if we look across the various weight divisions and we look at what the various sanctioning bodies have put out as their top 10, there's certainly some disparity. And quite frankly, there's some individuals who get a rating that it's pretty hard to justify based off of their CVs. And I'm not sort of, picking on any particular individual, but it doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense to me. And I would hope that Turki can provide us fans at the end of the piece, through his ownership of maybe the Ring magazine or just his general influence, with a list of, say, 20 in each division, and say these are the top 20. There shouldn't be anybody on that list who somebody looks at and goes, oh, that's not exactly a soft touch, but that's an easier fight. It shouldn't be like that. You should be able to find 20 boxers in each division and rank them and say, that's a fair ranking. Anyhow, Turki, that's my first wish, please. My second wish, which is closely aligned to the first one, is let's do away with this, oh, I'm a champion under ABC, but I'm a champion under CDE, or I'm a champion under this or that. At one time, and not a million years ago either, at one time, everybody knew who the champion was. I mean, my mom knew who the heavyweight champion of the world was. Everybody knew. It was Muhammad Ali, or it was Sonny Liston, or it was Joe Frazier, or it was George Foreman. But now, I mean, there's people walking around with all sorts of different belts, WBA, Intercontinental, Special Silver Trinket. It's, to me, it's very much like the old, WWE wrestling, not something that I really associate with boxing. I'm a bit more of a traditionalist in that respect, I suppose. So I'd like to see, one heavyweight champion of the world. Oh, there's Fred Blocks, heavyweight champion of the world. Oh, yes, well, he's going to be fighting next month against, Sam Jones, who's a top contender. It can't be that difficult for a guy like Turki to organize this. Well, says me. Well, maybe it is. But Turki, please. And so let's get away with this sort of, multiple belts. Turki can make his own belts or whatever. But let's have one recognizable champion in each division. And contenders like 2 and 3, they shouldn't be fighting for some trinket. They should be fighting so that they're the next up in the pecking order to have a crack to become the champion. Which leads me to my third request. Turki, please, can we scrap these sort of automatic rematch clauses? They're bad for a number of reasons. They're bad, firstly, in that they slow down a division. They can tie up a belt. I like to think that a fighter should fight at least twice, but probably 3 times a year. And he or she should be fighting somebody fresh unless 2 things have happened. It's been a close fight and an exciting fight where there's a groundswell amongst fans of saying, "Oh, we'd like to watch this again. That was a good match. Let's run it back." So a candidate for that would be Wardley Clark. The first fight was a very good fight. It warranted a rematch. They had a rematch and things were resolved. Let me think of an example that simply wouldn't warrant a rematch. Itama and McCain. There's no point. It could happen, it's like 8 times out of 10, Itama's going to have a similar result. With people like Anthony Joshua apparently requiring an automatic rematch clause in every contract, to me, that's just slows things down. It's not right. I want to see the top guy, champion of the world, take on contender. Okay, you beat that contender. Half a year's time or 4 months' time, you take on another contender. And the contenders have got to their position by fighting amongst themselves. So the cream should always rise to the top. I think that would be a lot more interesting than what we presently have. So, the double excellent Turki, please. There's 3 wishes. If you can make them come true, thank you. Thank you. Anyways, what do you think? Are any of those wishes on your wish list as well? And what, if anything, do you think Turki can do to make this happen? Anyways, as always, really appreciate you joining me today. And please hit like, share, and subscribe if you can. It's free, and I'd like to get a couple of subscribers. And wherever you are in the world, have a fabulous day. And for me, it's off to move snow. Oh dear. Cheers, everybody. Bye-bye.